together with Earle Sports Bets. Yeah, the twins, they be checking in, stacking up. Green is the scene that you're stepping in. Winning is a trend, and we stay making dollars. Nerd talk with the sports bet scholars. Yeah, it's R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies. R.I.P. to the bookies.
We are live. Welcome back to another edition of the Earle Sports Bet Show. I'm Timothy Earle. Nick will be joining us later. His class is going a little bit late. But we luckily for Nick, there's only 2 hockey games today. One of them is going to be an absolute shit show. And there's a big NBA card today. So that's where most of the show will end up being, is in the NBA. And we do have a couple of college basketball plays, but those will be up on the site and available for the member onlys. So if you guys are interested in that, bada bing, bada boom. But before we jump into today's card, we'll go ahead and look back at yesterday. What went right, what went wrong. Not a lot went right. It was another kind of rough day. Ended up being down 4.09. I thought I had a chance to, it was a good start to the day because we started off with winners. We started off 4-2. Auburn was a winner. VCU was a winner. Cavaliers were a winner. The over in the Bruins game was a winner. And then everything kind of started to fall apart. The over in the Dallas game did not get there, the Stars. Syracuse, you know what? For now on, I am never touching another Louisville game. Because we could, our numbers always have them graded so bad, and they're never as bad as we think. So that's getting frustrating. The over in the New Jersey game finished 1-0. Finished 2-1, which is definitely not recipes for an over, especially in another game, the Islanders game, that was 2-0. Then we did get a couple of wins with the over in the Hawks game. The over in the Nashville game, and Clemson -4.5. Thinking, okay, just need to win 1 or 2, and we could possibly have a profitable day, and then we lose 6 in a row. The over in the Rangers game didn't get there. The Florida Gators in college basketball lose outright as a 10-point favorite. Texas Tech only wins by 4, didn't get there as well. Dallas Mavericks weren't even close. Nevada wins, but does not cover the 19.5, which is always fun. And then Iowa loses by double digits to USC. So overall, not a fun day yesterday. Down 4 units, trying to get everything back. And hopefully we could do it with some NBA, some NHL, and some college basketball today. There you go. Okay, I'm not dealing with this. Thank you, Nicholas Handy. Oh no, it's only Tim today. Gee, thanks. I want a rebate on what? On what? Driving home at the moment. Be there in a few. There you go. There's Nick. Hurry up, Nick. Okay. Stopping at the ATM getting money. I don't know. Hughes was a disgrace. Yes, ATM at the moment. 446 is a boomer. ECU +3 was a disgrace. ECU doesn't have a good college basketball team. I don't know why you would even think about betting them. That sounds like a you problem. Supness, what's up, Lex? Welcome. Red Wings and Kent State yesterday. I know. How about them Red Wings? Finally showing who they are. But we'll go ahead. We'll start in the NBA, and we'll start off with the New York Knicks and the Philadelphia 76ers. We got the Knicks as a 5.5-point road favorite with a total of 219.5. This is a Knicks team that is 26-15 this year, 20-21 against the spread, 23-18 towards the over. They've actually gone over in 3 straight games. On the opposite side, you got the Philadelphia 76ers, who are 15-23. They are 14-24 against the spread, 20-17-1 towards the over. I think I'm going to end up attacking the over here. This is these are two teams that have been really putting up points as of late, and I just think this total is just a little bit too low. I could easily see both teams getting to 110. I'd probably lean towards Philly, although I'm not betting it. It would be a lean towards the 76ers in this one. Just the only reason why I'm not going to go after that is the Knicks are coming off of a loss at home versus Detroit. So I'm going to go ahead and start off my card with the over in this game. I think you're going to see some points from both sides. So let's start off over in the 76ers game. I bet ECU in honor of the Earls. Well, don't bet them in don't bet them in college basketball. Not a good idea. Oh yeah, B did. You did take the Sharks yesterday. I mean, I always take the Sharks. Come on. Philly is a disgrace. I know, isn't it beautiful? Sat every starter. We have no idea who's playing. Well, if they sat every starter yesterday, there you go. Knicks minus 5.5. Josh Hart over double minus 105. You know what? If I'm getting points, I want some players to do well. So I'm all right with that. I guess Embiid is playing. I'm seeing his props up. That doesn't mean that he's guaranteed to play. Embiid's a bitch. So how do you not mention the injury report? How can you lean Philly? They sat everyone last night. If they sat everybody last night, do you really think they're sitting everybody tonight? I mean, realistically, they figured, hey, we have no shot to win last night's game. They think they have a shot to beat the Knicks. It's an Eastern Conference opponent instead of a Western Conference opponent. No, I think they start all their starters tonight. I'm not going to be worried about that one. If you think about it realistically, I don't think they sit everybody tonight. So, no, I don't think they're sitting everybody tonight. We'll head to the next game. Hold on. Head to the next game, which is the Celtics and the Raptors. The Celtics are 12.5. Granted, sorry, I'm seeing some 14.5s now. These lines were typed up a little while ago by Nick, so the lines could be a little bit off. So keep that one in mind. I'm seeing some 14.5s now. 230 is your total in this one. The Celtics are kind of struggling as of late. They're 28-11, which is good, but they're 15-23-1 against the spread, 17-21-1 towards the under. They've been a heavy under team as of late. And they're coming off of a 1-point win versus arguably the worst team in the NBA in the Pelicans. Yes, I know they're getting healthy. We're not talking about them right now. On the opposite side, we get what used to be our darlings in the Toronto Raptors. The Raptors are 9-31 this year, 22-17-1 against the spread, 20-19-1 towards the over. They are coming off of a win last game against the Golden State Warriors, 104-101. Had them in that game. That was really nice. But the way I'm seeing this line move, I'm seeing 14.5s now. It's going to end up keeping me off the Raptors today. But I'm not touching the Celtics at all. So this one is a no-go for me, Nick. It would be, I guess it would be leaning towards the Raptors, but the line movement's keeping me off.
Fair. Looking at the previous game, it'd probably be Knicks or nothing for me coming in off the loss against Detroit. Personally, that would be the way I would look. If I'm laying with New York. With this one here, I mean, my first interest was I was interested in Boston a little bit. They had the bad loss to the Kings, and they bounced back by beating the Pelicans by 1 point as 14.5-point favorites. Now, the Boston Celtics have not been a team that's been covering this year. They're 28-11 straight up, but they're only 15-23-1 ATS. So this is a Boston team that does not cover numbers very often. This line opened up at I believe a 10, and now we're seeing 14. Yeah, opened up 10.5. Now we're seeing 14. My line opened up 228.5. It's now 229.5. I'm trying to get Action Network to load up here so I can get a little bit more of cash flow information. I feel like if you like the Boston Celtics, the better way to approach this game is taking their team total over rather than laying the 14 with them at this point. Because I do think this is a spot where like we're starting to see we're seeing the market move towards the over and things like that. So I'm trying to get up the cash flow and everything like that for this spot. 82% of tickets, 85% of cash is on the over, and then we have 54% of the tickets are on the Raptors, but 53% of the cash on the Celtics. So, for me, it's Boston or nothing. I'm not going to fade Boston off of two really lackluster games. But I'm not going to be backing the Raptors here either. So it would be just a lean towards that probably Boston team total over for me.
That's fair. Okay, just telling people wait until game time. I mean, yeah, I always kind of recommend wait until game time, but I bet Tim takes Toronto before he says a word. Let's see. I mean, it would be a lean that way, but I don't feel that we should be jumping to go and bet Boston with the way that line's moving. If you like the Raptors, take Chris Boucher points props over. He was the one that killed the Warriors last game. Can you believe that the Warriors actually lost to the Raptors? That's kind of hilarious. Gotta take the Raptors. Celtics are playing like they want the season to be over. Do they really care? I don't really think they do right now, but that's just I feel like a lot of teams are kind of like that right now. Where a lot of the top
NBA
teams
season is the worst product in professional sports.
That a lot of teams know that, hey, we're going to make the playoffs, and it doesn't matter what seed we get, and they're just kind of going through the motions. One of those teams I feel like is the Nuggets. So this is that. I know it's a funny spot to kind of go after, but this is. I know a lot of teams that really just kind of don't care about the regular season. And the Celtics just seem to be that type of team right now.
Yeah, the Celtics know they're going to make the playoffs. They're the reigning champs, and the NBA regular season is probably the worst product in professional sports. Because how many other sports you see players resting like that? Like you never see that in baseball.
Mm-mm. Sorry, all I got is Magic money line. I won't talk you off the Magic today. Glad to see Nick showed up. Hi, Nick.
Yeah, my class ran a few minutes later than I thought it would. It happens. At the end of the day, I'm a student first.
There you go. Let's keep on rolling, Nick.
Yeah, we have the Dallas Mavericks and the New Orleans Pelicans. Both these teams on a second half of a back-to-back. The Mavericks are 2.5-point road favorites, total of 225.5. This line opened up around a 1, went up to a 1.5, up to a 2, up to a 2.5 now. So we do have a decent move towards the Dallas Mavericks in this game. Line opened up 224. It's up to 225.5. Let's take a look at the cash flow here. 61% of tickets, 66% of the cash is on the Mavericks. Spread 66 and 82 on the money line, and the line's moving towards them. So it looks like the sharper money is coming in on Dallas in this game. And then 89% of tickets, 89% of cash on the over in this spot as well. And I know we just backed this, or I backed this New Orleans team yesterday. My lean is towards Dallas today. They're coming in off of a bad loss, back-to-back double-digit losses. And then on the flip side, we have the New Orleans Pelicans coming in on winning last game, 2 out of last 3, and covering in 3 straight. Their only loss was a 1-point loss to the Boston Celtics. So maybe this New Orleans Pelicans team is just getting better now. And obviously, we mentioned yesterday they're getting healthier, which I wish I maybe grabbed that over 21.5 wins. But I would lean towards the Dallas Mavericks in this game if I'm betting anything. And if I can get a decent money line price, I think Dallas might be my first game on the card here, because this is definitely a step down in competition for the Mavericks. Even though we're starting to hype up the Pelicans a little bit, this is still a Pelicans team that's 9-20 something this year. Like, they're still not a good basketball team.
9-32.
And it's the Dallas Mavericks. Yeah. Dallas is coming off of back-to-back losses. I'm actually going to take them here because I can get a -130 over on Bovada. I'll get my card started there. Dallas Mavericks minus 130 against the Pelicans here.
I don't hate that option. I'm going to stay off them just because it's a second half of a back-to-back, and that's kind of like a really
It's that for both teams.
Oh, is it actually? Oh, yeah. Yeah, never mind. I'm seeing that the Pelicans played last night. I'm an idiot.
Yeah, they beat the Bulls.
Yeah, I see that. I see that now. Pelicans been playing better as of late. They've covered in 3 straight. I just don't think I need to go and try to fade the Pelicans right now. As crazy as that sounds, I don't think the Pelicans are a fade team right now. And I know you kind of tagged on that a couple of days ago when you were mentioning that the Pelicans you were looking towards futures with them. That's not really a bad option at the moment. But I would kind of lean towards Dallas in this one with you, just off of, hey, coming off of 2 bad losses to the Nuggets, which I'll quickly tag on because I didn't talk about the Nuggets game last night, although I had the Mavericks. If Jamal Murray is going to do what he did last night the rest of the season, it's going to be a very dangerous Nuggets team. But it's hard to win a game when you got that going against you. I would lean towards the Mavericks in this game. It's not enough for me to want to go after it. I feel like there's probably better spots on today's card.
Yeah, probably.
Mavs moneyline minus 115. If you got a good line like that, then yeah.
Wow, I was going to say it's no longer 115.
Last night. What games did you go over? I talked over the Knicks game, the Celtics game, and we were just talking the Mavs. I liked Tim's idea. It was not my idea. Wasn't my idea. No Luka, no Mavs. Bet. I will say, this Mavericks team has looked really rough without Luka. And I think it's going to be a really rough stretch without Luka because they don't have him for at least another month. Dallas is dropped down to that 6th seed. They're tied with the Clippers. It's going to turn into a top 4 in the West, most likely, and then everybody else. Right now, the 4 and the 5 are already separated by 2.5. I only see it getting further away. Mavs are definitely hurting right now without Luka.
Yeah,
Mavs
of course.
He's one of the best players in basketball. So you figure they come out strong today. I mean, they should, yeah. In theory, I feel like they could come out really strong today. Is it something I want to go and put my money on? No. What's up, dudes? What's up, EDM? EMD. Sorry, it was Nick's idea. Yes. Let's keep on rolling, Nick. We'll go to this one.
Yeah, we have the Milwaukee Bucks taking on the Orlando Magic. It is now down to a 5 with a total of 210.5. This line opened up at a 7, immediately went down to a 6.5, immediately went down to a 6, and then this morning went from a 6 to a 5.5 down to a 5. So we've had a decent move towards the Orlando Magic in this game here, and this line opened up at a 212. It's down to a 210.5. So we do have a move towards the under here as well. So interesting line movement in this game. Let's take a look at the cash flow in this spot. 58% of tickets, 56% of tickets, 58% of the cash is coming in on Milwaukee. This line's moving towards Orlando. And then 82% of tickets, 71% of the cash is on the over in this game as well. And the line's dropping. So we do have a move towards the under here as well, which the under does seem pretty appealing in this matchup. We definitely have an Orlando Magic team that has been a pretty solid under. And these two teams actually just played a few days ago on the 10th. It was a 109-106 win for the Milwaukee Bucks. That's something to keep in mind as well. But this is a Orlando Magic team that has been consistently playing sub 200 games. They've gone under in 8 of their last 10 games. Milwaukee, they've been a little bit more of an over team as of late. They've gone over in 3 straight, 4 of their last 5. But I think this is a spot where Orlando slows it down and we see a little bit of a lower scoring game. And I'm kind of interested in unders in this game. And I can get under 211.5, minus 115 over on BetMGM. I'm going to take a shot with that here. Give me Orlando, Milwaukee under. And as for the side, I would only look towards now it's a plus 5.5 with the Orlando Magic. It would be Magic or nothing. But that would be trusting them to put up points, which I generally don't trust them to do right now. So just the under for me, under 211.5, minus 115.
You know my opinion on the Milwaukee Bucks. I think they're overrated. And their spread record kind of says so. 16, 21, and 1. Spread record, yeah. And you would have to lay a bunch of points with them at home today. No, I took the Orlando Magic in this one. I got 6.5. So I'm happy that I was able to get 6.5. It was kind of a nice line. Magic coming off of covering in 3 out of 4. They did cover this number versus Milwaukee in their last game. I could easily see them covering again, if not winning outright. This is just a Milwaukee team that have been fading for a while and have been making a bunch of money fading them. So not going to fix what's not broke. Give me the Magic here. I got 6 and a hook in this one, Nick.
I like it. That would be my lean sidewise. Would be Magic.
Under for me. Market is booming. Who cares? Magic have everyone on injury report. I would wait. Magic always has everybody on injury report. There's nothing new.
I was going to say, who are you worried about coming back? Kadarius Caldwell-Pope? That's the only player that's like questionable that has any type of stature. Juwan Howard?
For real.
Like all the bigger name guys on the injured list we know are out for a while. Wagner, Harris, Suggs, Banchero. We all know they're out long term.
Well, Banchero's been back.
Oh, my bad. Banchero's back. Yeah, that's why I was wondering why his name was off the list when I was reading, and then I was like, his name's not longer on that list. But yeah, let's move on though. We have the Chicago Bulls and the Atlanta Hawks. 2-point favorites are the Bulls, total of 244. Line opened up at a 245.5, and it's gone down to a 243.5. So we have a 2-point line movement towards the under here in this one. Line opened up at a 2. It's still a 2. It's been a 4-cent line movement, though, towards the Bulls on the spread as it's gone from minus 110 to minus 114 for the minus 2. Line opened up, or 47% of tickets and 55% of the cash is on the spread for the Bulls. But the sharp money is coming in on the money line here for the Atlanta Hawks. 28% of the tickets, 57% of the cash. We have 64% of tickets and 58% of the cash is on the over in this game. And yet this line's moving down. I have a feeling this would be another underplay for me. That would be my lean. And I know you're on the opposite side. I believe you're probably going to be on another Atlanta Hawk over. They've been awesome this year. I get that. That's why I've been staying off them. My numbers always like the unders. And last game, the over did hit. Yeah, but I know this feels like one of those spots where probably the over will hit, but this feels like the overly obvious over of the day that this game's somehow going to finish in the 220s for no good reason. But I lean under 243.5 if I'm betting this game at all, and I guess I lean Bulls, but not with any conviction.
I'm just going to continue to ride what I've been riding for a while, and that's been Hawks overs. And the beauty of it is, even if I get one wrong, I'm still up on the Hawks overs run. It's just been something that's been a little bit of a moneymaker for me. They've gone over in 4 straight, 5 out of 6. They're 25, 12, and 2 to the over this year. I've been riding that for the last month and a half, 2 months. So when it comes to it, it's kind of been my blind bet. Every day I see the Hawks on the card, Nick, and you bet the over. Kind of similar how during baseball season, it's see the Marlins bet against them. Last year, same deal. Hawks overs, kind of like what I did with the Pacers last year. Pacers kept going over and over and over and over. And I remember there was a run either last baseball season or the baseball season before of the Red Sox over constantly. So I'm just going to Braves unders was like that too. Yeah. So it's just been a been something that for a while now we've been taking. So I'm not gonna stop taking it. So I'm gonna just keep riding my Hawks overs.
Yeah, I could definitely respect that.
Magic +6, Bulls money line. I like the Magic today. Under. Well, I got 243.5. So love the Bulls. They just run up and down the court, but I have to go over. But both on back to back. Give me the under. Nick will be right. Don't say that. Don't say that. Bulls, Fernando. Take the over if the total drops after first quarter. The second half is where they drive the over in the last meeting. There you go.
So maybe first quarter or November.
I thought past games don't matter. LOL. Live action. Come on, guys. Mention the back-to-back. Both of these teams are on back-to-back.
I already did. I did.
Yeah.
I said that the Bulls played the Pelicans last night.
Pay attention a little bit.
Maybe you need to listen better. Yeah. Memphis Grizzlies and the San Antonio Spurs. The Grizzlies are now down to a 2.5-point favorite, total 239.5. Line opened up at a 2.5, immediately went to a 3. So the opening line was really a 3, went up to a 3.5, down to a 3, down to a 2.5, back to a 3. Now we're 3.5, and it's dropped back down to a 2.5. So we've seen a decent amount of line move just go up and down on this game. Line opened up 237. It's now 239. So we do have a move towards the over here as well. We have 66% of tickets, 68% of cash on the over, and the line's moving towards it at the very least. 71% of tickets, 77% of cash is on the Grizzlies. Yet this line's dropped. 27% of tickets and 79% of cash on the Spurs money line, or for those interested in that. The Spurs look very, very interesting in this game. This is a Spurs team that they snapped a 3-game losing streak in their last game. It was 126-102 win over the LA Lakers. This is their first game back after a 3-game road trip where they played Chicago, Milwaukee, and LA. Memphis coming in. This is their third game of a road trip. They will play back-to-back games in San Antonio as they play the Spurs again in 2 days on the 17th. So that's one thing you got to keep in mind as well. So maybe your approach for this game, I think I'm going to get involved with the Spurs in this game, and I'm going to look to bet the Grizzlies on what would it be, Friday. I'll look to bet the Grizzlies on Friday and bet the Spurs tonight. So I'm gonna find the best number here, which is 2.5 minus 105 over on ESPN Bet. I'm gonna take the Spurs plus the points here.
I would be more inclined to stay off of today's game and then bet the loser of this game in the next one. And if anything, I feel like it would be more of a lean towards Memphis for me. Memphis coming off of losing 2 out of 3. Both of those 2 losses were to Houston. The team that Houston, by the way, 2 seed in the West. Crazy to think of. But Memphis 3 seed. So Memphis is looking good this year. That's kind of I kind of expected that once they got John Morant back, and this team is not as bad as they were last year. Obviously, they're showing it now. This is Spurs team that is a very young team, but they're also looking kind of good this year. They are sitting in a play-in spot at the moment after being one of the worst teams in the NBA last year. Obviously, they got the number 1 pick and got Victor Wembanyama, right? That was last year? 2 years ago? I feel like that was last year. No, he's not a rookie. Victor Wembanyama was a rookie last year. He was Bedard. Never mind. Ignore that one. But they've been bad for so long, and now they're finally in a play-in spot. If they win tonight, they're over 500. I'm going to stay off of this game, but I'm going to take the loser of tonight's game on Friday.
That's a fair approach. And, I mean, between the Spurs, I think the Spurs and the Pistons have been the 2 pleasant surprises so far in the NBA.
How about Houston?
I kind of expected it from Houston, though.
I'm sorry. You expected Houston
the next step up.
You expected Houston to be 14 games over 500 right now? Where the only teams that are behind...
Maybe not.
Where the only teams that are behind are Cleveland, Boston, and Oklahoma City right now? They're the fourth best team
they were
in
gonna be a
basketball.
top-
You expected that?
I thought top 10 at the worst. I
I
like this.
thought they would be
Keep in
decent.
mind, I was very high on the Rockets last year too. So this
I
is
thought
kind
they
of
would
what I
be
was
decent,
expecting.
but this is a lot better than I thought they would be.
I mean, yes, they're better than I thought they were going to be, but I still thought they were going to be pretty good.
I mean, I expected Cleveland to be good. I expected
Yes.
Oklahoma City to be good. I expected those two teams to be two of the top teams in the league. I expected the Celtics kind of drop a little bit, which had 17 games over 500. They dropped a little bit.
I thought the Rockets were going to be a
Knicks
top
to be
4
good.
team in the West.
You thought the Rockets would be a top 4 team in the West?
Yeah. I was high on them last year. Remember that, Tim? Like I whenever they were a home dog, I basically bet them every time. Like this was a Houston Rockets team that I was all over last year.
Yeah, the Rocket teams are they're a good team. I just didn't expect them to be this good. Don't get snotty with 446. I could do what I want. Under anyone? I could. Line's kind of moving towards the over. I don't know. I thought Wemby was going to be a superstar. You noticed that he barely gets talked about. Dude, Wemby's been sick this year. I believe he's quite high in the MVP race. I mean, right now it's SGA and Joker, and that's about it. But let's see, NBA, awards and league leaders. Sixth man, wow, Joker's a clutch man of the year right now, minus 110. MVP, how is SGA favorited to win MVP? Minus 175
for one of the best teams in basketball.
Yeah, minus 175 for SGA. Nikola Jokic plus 150, and then it's everybody else. Giannis at 18, Tatum at 40, and Wembanyama at 80 to 1. How about Donovan Mitchell, who's 150 to 1 on the best team in basketball?
He's not that superstar though.
He's not. That's the one thing. But who's going to guard Slenderman? I love that. Easy pass. I thought they would be good. Seems like OKC when they were very young. I kind of see Houston as the Oklahoma City from 2 years ago. Memphis
that's
is a
exactly the type of step I thought they were going to take.
NBA's in trouble. These young stars have no attraction.
The NBA is in trouble because nobody gives a fuck about the regular season.
Yeah.
That's why the NBA is in trouble.
Yeah.
The NBA is in trouble because of tanking. The NBA is in trouble because of load management. Like, that's why when you have to put initiatives for players to play the games, you have a problem.
Yeah. No, trust me, I agree. The NBA is a shit product this year. It's been a shit product. I mean, so was the NFL this year. You had half the league was tanking.
A terrible product this year. Yeah.
Half the league was tanking the entire year. So no, I this is you've got to do better. I think the MLB is going to be a great product this year. I think NHL has been a great product this year.
NHL's been a good product this year
because way more NHL games than NBA games this year.
Because they actually have a lot of parity this year. Just look at the Eastern Conference standings.
I was about to say, look at the Eastern Conference. Everybody besides the Sabres are still in it.
Yeah.
Let's keep on rolling, Nick.
Oh, boy. This is the moment we've all been waiting for. The Charlotte Hornets and the Utah Jazz. We're seeing the Hornets as 5.5-point road favorites in this game, total of 222. Line opened up at a 4, got up to a 5.5, and we've seen a recent line movement back down to a 5. But we still have a 1-point line movement towards the Hornets since the opening line. Line opened up 221. It's down to a 220.5. So we even moved towards the under here as well. Taking a look at the cash flow, where we have 89% tickets and 73% of cash on the over, yet this line's dropping. And then we have 67% of tickets and 60% of the cash is on the Jazz. And the line's moving towards the Hornets. Makes me interested in the Hornets in the under in this game. Would probably be the way I would like like to look at this game. The Hornets have been one of the better under teams in basketball, and we've seen them go under in 8 of their last 10 games. I think I'm going to move on this under. One thing that does concern me a little bit is Utah has been a slightly over team, but they have gone under in 2 of their last 3 games, 4 of their last 5. But this is a Hornets team that has been a really strong under team this year, 13, 22, and 1 over under. And I think this is another spot where we have the public all over this over for whatever reason, the line dropping. So I think this is a good spot to go ahead and grab an under here. I think Hornets unders. I have a feeling, Tim, you can approach Hornets unders similar to Hawk overs. I think that's the one way you can approach the Charlotte Hornets is they play with a slow enough pace and they play low enough scoring basketball that you see a lot of unders from them. And I can get under 221 at minus 115 over on Bovada. That's what I'm going to grab for this one here. Under for me.
I see the under in Charlotte, but at the same time, I see Utah being not an under team. Utah has got one of the worst defenses in basketball, allowing 117.6 points a game. Granted, their offense is 110.9 a game, which is 20th in basketball, but I think this is a good one to just press that 1-800-GAMBLER button and move on. I don't like to bet these games unless I really feel like there's a good spot in this one. I understand you looking at your Charlotte under. That's fine. They've gone under in 8 out of their last 9. I'm not gonna touch the under in this game because I don't want to ruin a trend. So good luck to you in that one. But I'm gonna stick with to pressing that 1-800-GAMBLER button and moving on. I'm gonna have enough plays in the NBA as it is.
Yeah. This feels like a correlated play. If you like the Jazz, you like the over. If you like the Hornets, you like the under. Because I think if the Hornets win, it's a lower scoring basketball game. If the Jazz cover, it's a higher scoring basketball game.
I can see that. Or if the Jazz win in general.
And that could bring up, I think I was looking it up, minus 118 over on FanDuel is the Utah Jazz team total under at 108.5. I'd lean towards that. I don't think the Jazz crack 100 tonight.
And the only reason why is because, the Hornets play at such a slow pace.
Yep.
But
which is why they've been such an awesome under team this year.
NFL has been shit, but people always watch it because of gambling. Oh, yeah.
And that's an argument that you can make. How many people would watch the NFL if they didn't have money on it or they didn't have fantasy football? Like that's a legitimate question. Like some of the games we had this year where, the Ravens are 17-point favorites against the Giants. Who the fuck is watching that other than Ravens fans and people who have money on the game? Even Giants fans aren't watching that. Like who's watching these games if you don't have money on them?
True.
I'm not.
Do you think more money will solve the problem? Yes and no. If anything, like the NBA product, make the NBA regular season count more. Take out the playing game.
Yeah,
For real.
Fuck the playing.
Take out the play-ins. I know they wanted to make more money. Take out the play-ins, and I'll even go to it of if you want to play in 8 versus 9. If you really need a play-in, 8 versus 9, or even like 7 versus 8. Have 7 playoff teams. Make it even shorter. Make it tougher to make the playoffs. Because you have a bunch of teams that
tougher to make the playoffs. And and that's not a problem we have in hockey because it's the same amount, it's the same percentage in hockey, but we've had such parity in hockey and hockey players, care about the game more than NBA players do. Where they don't have that problem.
You could look at the NBA standings right now and go, do the Indiana Pacers care right now? They're currently 3.5 games up on a play, or 5.5 games up on a play on 76ers, which is the 11th seed. You got even look at Milwaukee. Do they care? Do the Heat care? Like, those are just teams that are kind of just going to get their way into the playoffs and then go from there. Right now in the Western Conference, do the Nuggets care right now? Do the Grizzlies care right now?
No.
Actually, no. The Grizzlies are a different story. I think the Grizzlies kind of they're a younger team, so they all care. Houston cares right now. Oklahoma City cares right now. Do the Clippers really care? Do the Mavericks really care right now? Do the Lakers care right now?
Do the Lakers ever care?
No. But I feel like it's a bunch of teams that are just kind of sleepwalking themselves into the playoffs. We limit it down to 7 teams make the playoffs, or even 6 teams make the playoffs in each conference. Boy, is that going to get exciting. Because then all of a sudden you got, like, in the Western Conference, Clippers, Mavericks, Lakers, T-Wolves, all within half a game of each other, 2 would get a playoff spot if you went down to 6 games.
Yeah, and here's the thing: another thing you got to look at. There's a team currently sitting last place in their division that's in a play-in spot. The Chicago Bulls are in a play-in spot. They're sitting last in the Central Division, and they're 18-22, and they're in a play-in spot.
That's my point. It's also because the Eastern Conference is garbage, but I love this conversation.
Yeah. On the flip side, here's the thing, though. On the flip side, you have a team that they're sitting third in their division, but they're 20-20. The Sacramento Kings, and they're in a playoff spot.
Yeah, play-in. Yeah, I don't think mediocre teams, but I don't know. Hornets or nothing.
Yeah.
Some people got -1s on the Hornets. -1s. Oh, you got a -1 last night. Okay. Poop game. I agree. And it's because the best sport, and it's just less games. NFL. I mean, I guess you can make that argument. Oh, it's less games, so it's more. Each game means more, but Westbrook Pro. We're about to get into that Nuggets game, Nick.
I'm actually kind of interested in this one because this could be a little bit of a statement game. We have the Houston Rockets and the Denver Nuggets. This line opened up yesterday with the Rockets as a 1.5 dog, and it flipped to now they're a 1-point favorite. On the flip for the total, line opened up 235.5, and it's plummeted all the way down to a 231.5. So a decent move towards the under, and a dog to favorite shift for the Houston Rockets. 79% of the tickets, 72% of the cash is on the Nuggets, and the line's moving from dog to favorite for the Rockets. 44% of tickets, 74% of cash on the money line for Houston. So sharp money is all over the Rockets in this spot. 84% of tickets, 75% of cash on the over in this one as well, and this line's dropping. How are we not on the Houston Rockets in this game? We had the Denver Nuggets coming in on a second half of a back-to-back, a very satisfying win yesterday. You just had Jamal Murray drop 45 points, and they're feeling good. They've won 4 in a row now, the Denver Nuggets. They've covered in all 4 of those. They've covered in 5 of their last 6. They've won 8 of their last 10. And now we have a Houston Rockets team, though, coming in feeling good as well. They're coming in off of a win against the Lakers, the Wizards, and back-to-back against the Memphis Grizzlies, which the Memphis Grizzlies are now, 2 games behind them, as the Houston Rockets are second in the West. I want the Houston Rockets in this game. I'll take them at a pick and price tag in this one. They've gone from dog to favorite with the public all over Denver. And I don't trust the Denver Nuggets right now. I get it. They've won 4 in a row. But this is a Denver team that is 19-19-1 ATS this year. So they're covering wise. And this is a Houston Rockets team that has a better record on the road than Denver does at home. So I'm going to be on the Houston Rockets in this game. I'm getting -105 over on ESPN Bet. I'm going to back the team that I think is this year's Oklahoma City Thunder, and that is the Houston Rockets. So I'm going to be on Houston here, just money line.
And I will say, I know you made one cap with it of I can't trust the Nuggets. I don't think that's the right cap for this one. It has nothing to do with trust. This is a Nuggets team that is now fully healthy again. And Murray's kind of showed it. They got Gordon back. and they've been winning. They've won 4 games in a row against the Clippers, Brooklyn, and then 2 against Dallas, both of them in Dallas. Now they head back home. I understand wanting to go after Houston in this one. I'm not touching a side, so I'll start off with that. I'm not touching a side, but I will be on the over in this game. It's been a Nuggets team that's going to score points. They have been running. They have been a big over team this year. 23, 15, and 1 towards the over. Granted, they have gone under in 2 straight games against Dallas, but this has been a Nuggets team that just keeps on running, putting up points. By the way, I'm not as much worried about the line movement in this game as you are. And main reason why is look what we saw in yesterday's game against Dallas. I think that line opened up at 6, 6.5. It closed at 2.5. It did not matter what number you got. So I've seen that a lot with the Nuggets this year where the line will move against them and it just will not matter. Everybody loves this Houston team this year. They're looking good. I'm just going to take the over in this game. I think we see a lot of points, maybe even overtime.
Maybe. I think this can be a competitive game. I like the spot here for Houston.
Dylan Brooks over 1.5 assists. Brooks over rebounds. There's no beef anymore. Bet Murray props under points. He can't be as hot as he was last year. No, I mean he's not scoring 45 again, but I would trade Joker for 5 number 1 picks. Have I ever mentioned that? Yes, you have, and I still think you're a fucking idiot.
That's an underpayment for the team getting Jokic. Only 5 first-round picks?
For real. I still think you're an idiot. Russell had least minutes of starters and low numbers. He gets huge usage. He will run Huo into his numbers bigly. It's almost English. Rockets have trouble scoring. They can't win in the playoffs. Well, luckily we're not in the playoffs right now for them. So there you go. Nick, please get this figured out. Holy shit!
I'm waiting for the money to hit the business account, and then yes, I will pay out. Yes, I will pay out. Yes, I will pay out. I'm waiting for the money from YouTube to hit the business account. Thank you very much. I've said this a few times already.
Whoa, Tim said OT. I think I ever heard him say that. I mean, I've said OT before. I'm typing a lot of comments to hear Tim try to read them. You're an asshole. There you go. Let's keep on rolling, Nick. 2 of the most overrated teams in basketball.
Minnesota Timberwolves and the Golden State Warriors. 5.5-point favorites are the T-Wolves, total of 215.5 in this game. Eventually, when do we say it's a buy low spot on the Golden State Warriors? But this line opened up at a 5. It's now a 6. Yeah. Line opened up at a 5. It's now a 6. Line opened up 216. It's now down to 215.5. So we have a move towards the T-Wolves, and we have a move towards the over in this game here. The line opened up, 52% of the tickets are on the T-Wolves, 51% of the cash on the Warriors, and the line's moved towards the T-Wolves. 92% of tickets, 88% of the cash is on the over here as well. Yeah, I mean, these are 2 of the more overrated teams in the NBA. I think we've both kind of hammered that a few times, though. I guess these are 2 teams that I'd rather bet against than bet on. I'm glad I didn't back the T-Wolves last game. They didn't cover by the hook. They won by 14 as 14.5-point favorites. On the flip side, we have the Golden State Warriors, who have lost 4 of their last 5 games. The only game they won was against the Detroit Pistons. So not a good what do you call it? Not a good run here for Golden State. I understand why the line is the way it is, but I'm definitely not laying this number on the T-Wolves. So this is an easy pass.
Yeah, no, it's an easy pass. I'm not messing with them. I heard of that. You know, I'm just not really interested in trying to trust either of these teams right now. I kind of said going into the year that both these two teams would be kind of rough. I think I said a lot of these teams are overvalued. How about a Minnesota team that is currently in the 8th seed after making the Western Conference Finals last year? I said their run was fluky, and boy, was I right. And how about a Warriors team that is now not in a playoff spot, not even in a play-in spot? I find it hilarious.
Here's the thing, though. One thing I've noticed is during this free for all of the Golden State Warriors, somebody's been missing from the chat. Tim, I don't know where Marcos went with his Road Warriors.
Marcos, we miss you. We want you back, Marcos. Anyways, I'm staying off this game. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Agreed. I think I'm gonna move on the next game though.
No. T-Wolves in the over. Warriors could. Okay, I'm not dealing with that. Let's keep on rolling.
Yeah. Let's get into it. The LA Lakers and the Miami Heat. The Lakers -5, total of 217.5. We have this line opened up. Lakers 4.5. It's now up to a 5.5. Line opened up 217.5 down to a 216.5. We have 92% of tickets, 85% of cash on the over. The line's dropped a point, which is interesting there. 54% of tickets and 54% of cash is on the Lakers in this one. The line's gone from a 4.5 to a 5.5. We have the Lakers coming in on 3 straight losses. Granted, Houston on the road, Dallas on the road, fine. A 24-point loss in what should have been a step-up spot for your city against the San Antonio Spurs, and you do that? Embarrassing. On the flip side, we have the Miami Heat coming in off of an 11-point loss. They played the Clippers, who actually showed up for their city in their previous game. It was 109-98 in favor of the Clippers in that game. This is the last game of a 6-game road trip for the Miami Heat, where they're 3-2 so far. And they will head home to play the Denver Nuggets on the 17th. So that's what they got to look forward to when they get back to South Beach. The Lakers have the Brooklyn Nets at home on deck. How are we not on the Lakers in this game? And I get it. One thing that I know you're going to bounce back with is you don't want to lay these type of points with the Lakers, which I understand that. I think this is an awesome spot for the Lakers, not only for just a full game spread, kind of thinking first half and full game, kind of thinking doubling up on the Lakers in this game, which sounds disgusting. But also you got I don't know how much of a thought process this is, but these two teams played each other a little over a month ago on December the 4th in Miami. You remember the score of that game, Tim?
No.
It was 134-93. It was a 41-point walloping that the Miami Heat handed the Los Angeles Lakers.
Oh, yeah, I remember that game. It was beautiful.
I would like to back the Lakers in this game. And I will get the first half -2.5 over on Fanatics -120, and the full game -5.5 -110 on Fanatics as well. I'm doubling down on the Lakers tonight. I think this is an awesome spot for them.
Okay. I am not touching the Lakers. I know they're coming off of blowout 24-point loss, but I'm not laying points on them. And I know you just mentioned that I wouldn't, and I agree, I wouldn't. This is not a Lakers team that I want to trust. And this is a Miami Heat team that we're kind of in that similar spot. How much does this team even care? And I just don't see them caring enough to really do anything in this game. So it's another one of those games I'm passing on. I think I'm good for this card. I think I've got my place for this card because I got 3 plays on the card, and I like my 3 plays. So I think I'm going to be good for this NBA card.
Fair.
Warriors lost Kuminga, only athletic player they have. Yeah, I'm not really worried about Kuminga. Pass. Lakers first quarter, Lakers first half, big bounce back spot. I mean, you could be.
Yeah, I agree.
You have to wait to see if Bam is playing for the Heat. If you're going to back them, he's probably their best player now. Yeah, not to mention Jimmy Butler doesn't want to be there. So, last time these two teams played, Miami killed them. I ain't betting the Lakers no more. That's my thing is I'm just not betting the Lakers. Talk about trust, Nick. Never can trust the Lakers. Yo Markel, 4 for 6. Wolves, Lakers, moneyline parlay. Okay.
I don't hate it.
Just no points to worry about. I mean, I'm not going to talk you off of it. I'm just not going after either of those teams right now. Final game, Nick, and boy, does this one look gross.
Let's get into it, though. The Los Angeles Clippers are 14.5-point favorites. Total of 212. Now, I did back the Clippers in their previous game, though, as the win over the Miami Heat. But, I mean, I'm not laying 14 points with them. I can probably promise you that. This line opened up at a 14. It's now a 14.5. Line opened up at a 211.5, and it's now 213. If I want to lay these type of points, I need some motivation. I don't got it here. I really don't. The Clippers are coming off of a nice, satisfying win. You just won the game for your city. The first game back at home after the forest fires there in LA, and you get the job done, unlike the Lakers, 109-98. The Brooklyn Nets, I mean, this feels like a spot where the Brooklyn Nets can come in, keep this game more competitive than people will think, and somehow keep it close. It wouldn't shock me. This is Nets or nothing. The only thing is this line's gone from 14 to 14.5, with 67% of the tickets and 66% of the cash is on the Nets. So the Nets are somewhat of a public dog, and the line's not moved with them. And then we have 94% of tickets, 95% of cash on the over here as well. This is not a game I'm getting involved with. Maybe if the Clippers got embarrassed last game against the Heat, I'm interested, but not after a nice win like that.
Yeah, no. No real motivation. I'm never laying 14.5 points, and the Nets are not the same team that they've been covering with the past little while. I remember when this Nets team used to be, oh, they're a dog, let's go take them. Although they've covered in 2 straight. They are coming off of a blowout win. They won by 18 yesterday in Portland. But this is not a game I need to get involved in. Clippers should win, obviously. But there's no way I'm laying this many points, and so I'm not touching the Nets in this one. So I'll end my card with a pass in the NBA.
You sure you don't want the Clippers minus? Yeah, you sure you don't want the Clippers minus 1,100 on the money line?
No, I'm a respectable bettor. I'm not going to lay that type of juice.
Fair.
Magic, Knicks, Wolves, Charlotte. Magic, yes. Knicks, I just took the over. Wolves, go for it, whatever. Charlotte, it's okay. So a bunch of decent-sized favorites. Over 212. That is a little bit of a low total. So, too many scrubs. Too much to say, right?
Yeah.
Hear me out. Nets lose tonight. D'Lo goes back to Lakers in 2 days. Nets money line. Sure. I mean, I'm not trying to. Nets play feisty. Give me the points. Contest play. How many contests have you won on this channel? He decided not to participate and then kind of give a shit because he didn't want to play. Russell is giving them scoring. 4 for 6 would have won every single month. No ban. We never banned you.
I would have allowed you to do it if you got the.
Yeah, membership. we would have let you in with all the other members.
First open arms.
Right. Okay, maybe not first month. Oops, Tim throwing shots. Tim, can you read the book War and Peace to me? Absolutely not.
That sounds like
I know torture. I can't read. I know I have problems reading it. Thank you. Let's keep on rolling. Go to hockey.
Yeah, we have the NHL. Let's get it. Buffalo Sabres and the Carolina Hurricanes. The Canes minus 185 road favorites with a total of 6 in this game here. We have my projections have the Hurricanes as favorites in this game, but more along the lines of 145, 150. So I do see a slight bit of value here at Buffalo. The question is, do I want to trust Buffalo with a bet in this game? The answer is probably not. And I have this game projected for 6.06 goals. This is a tricky game, tricky slate because there's only 2 games. I made a play on the last game, but we'll talk about that in a minute. Where that line's gone, I don't want anything to do with it anymore. So this is a game where I guess, I mean, gun to head, I would lean. I kind of want Buffalo in this game. I kind of do. Here's the problem though. I'm absolutely not fading the Hurricanes coming in off of that overtime loss as minus 485 favorites at home. Rob Brindamore just ripped into them, and they show up in this game. So if anything, if I'm betting anything, probably Carolina first period puck line would probably be my lean in this game. There's just not enough value on it. But yeah, no, this is a no play here for me.
Oh God, I'm terrified. This is ugly. And this is going to get ugly. Dustin Tarkovsky is going to start for the Carolina Hurricanes today. Most likely. All right, so let me take the Sabres team total under. If it was Pachekov, I would look towards the Sabres, knowing that they're going to have a backup goalie in. The Sabres will somehow maybe score a goal to make it like 4-1. But man, knowing that, I would look towards Carolina puck line in this game. I see no other way.
This is the way. Sure. Let's head to the chat. All right. Buffalo money line. How's my girl Destiny? Say hi for no. Buffalo minus 1.5. What's the odds on that? Wow, that's probably a nice score there. If you're gonna take a shot at that. I know some dude for some reason. Buff is his team. What a clown guy that is. So Nick has given up on his Devils Cup pick. No, I just don't bet him every single game. But the playoffs still have to start. I should get my name on the banner for being 2-0 in the contest. There you go. But we'll move on to the final game on the card. A game I moved on yesterday in the afternoon at a much different number. Because I want to kind of punch in what the line is for my play now compared to what it was when I bet it. Because I can no longer advocate. Oh wow. Okay. Because I can no longer advocate for my play anymore. Because of just the way the lines move. Because the best available number is over on FanDuel, where it's minus 210 and plus 122. So I got the play yesterday. Went back when the line was minus 155 on the money line, and I got the Oilers minus 1 at minus 102. If you want to play the Oilers minus 1 now, it's minus 140. So unfortunately, I can't advocate for that anymore. And honestly, the way the lines moved, I don't see any value anymore. I had the Oilers around a minus 185, minus 190 favorite in this game. And now we're seeing them up towards the minus 210, minus 220, minus 225 range. We have a Minnesota Wild team that has struggled this year, or not struggled this year, struggled the last few games since losing Brock Faber. They beat the San Jose Sharks in the last 3 games. That was their only win. And then they get shut down by the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. I see the Edmonton Oilers around the same level as the Vegas Golden Knights and the Colorado Avalanche. So this is a matchup where you're stepping up in competition again, and they've been outplayed. And they're dealing with injuries, the Minnesota Wild. I'm well aware of that. Because Brock Faber is day-to-day. And he has not been playing. Kirill Kaprizov is still out, and he doesn't have a timetable for return. They're missing Brodin. They're missing Spurgeon. They're missing 3 of their top 6 defensemen. That's a fade for me. When you're missing that many blue liners, that's a fade for me. However, at minus 102, I like the Oilers -1. Now you got to puck line it. And the best that you can get is the puck line at plus 122 over on FanDuel. I'm not going to advocate for it anymore. I got the Oilers at a much better price. So I got the Oilers -1. I can't advocate for it anymore, unfortunately. So this will unfortunately be a pass. And this NHL card will be a pass because just because the lines just moved too much for me to advocate for my play anymore.
That's fair. Hey, it's only a 2-game card, so I don't really blame you for completely passing on today's card. And thank you for not wanting to put the Sabres up on the site. I really do appreciate it. But anyways, no, I'm not touching today's NHL card. I mean, why not go Carolina, Edmonton, money lines parlayed? But other than that, I really don't feel the need to go after him. Maybe what is the lines for puck lining both teams as a parlay? Let's take a look real quick. Parlay about 230, about plus 430 for both Edmonton and Carolina on the puck line. Could be interesting, but no, I'm not touching the hockey card. Good?
Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yeah.
Am I freezing at all, or
My computer's
my frozen? Is it? I've been having a little bit of connection issues lately, so it could be.
I was. My computer is not clicking.
Okay. Where did you leave off? Oh, I should get my name on a banner for being 2-0 contest. Maybe.
There you go.
What would be your other team for the Cup? Vegas, baby.
Colorado.
Me and Nick agree on a lot of plays. Kind of bet the same way. Pass. Buffalo is my only play. My condolences. If no one was a member, they couldn't play the contest. So that means people were banned. No, that means we tried.
You know what it means? It means you didn't buy the ticket to play the game.
There you go. But that is all the games for today. The card has already been posted up. Nick, I actually have a total for college basketball today. So that's up on the site. Having a little bit of fun with that. But that is everything for today. If you guys are interested, supporting the channel, right above Nick's head, $5.99. I'm on 16 cents a day. You can support the channel. We'll be back again tomorrow, 10:30. Army money line. Yes. That's one that I had to punch in a couple of numbers that were not available yesterday. And that was one of them. Army money line today, plus 104. No, give me Navy. They're not against each other. My name should be up by tomorrow. No. But that's going to do it for this one. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Peace out.